Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you've been playing Fish on Roblox, you know that not all rods are created equal. In fact, most of them aren't really worth the investment, and sinking your time and money into the wrong ones can seriously set you back. So what's the best move? Well, it's all about focusing on just a few rods that you'll actually use for the long haul. Trust me, you don't want to waste resources on rods that'll end up collecting dust in your inventory. In today's video, I'm breaking down the Fish Roblox rod tier list so you can make smarter choices when it comes to what you buy. We'll go through the rods that truly stand out and make your fishing experience way more enjoyable. And of course, avoid the ones that are just a huge letdown. Whether you're looking to catch the big fish or just want to level up faster, this guide will help you maximize your in-game resources. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking rods in Fish. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The rods in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Flimsy Rod. The Flimsy Rod. Truly the crown jewel of disappointment in Fish. If you're looking to catch fish the size of a toothpick, this rod's got your back. With zero luck, zero resilience, and a laughable max cage of 10.4, this thing might as well be a stick you found on the beach. No lure, no control, it's like trying to fish with a soggy noodle. Honestly, it's so bad it almost feels like a prank item. Do yourself a favor, leave this rod in the shop and save your coins for literally anything else. It's D tier for a reason, folks. The rods in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Rapid Rod, Fortune Rod, Long Rod, Plastic Rod, and Steady Rod. Alright, let's dive into the world of fish rods, where every angler's dream can either come true or be crushed by bad stats. You might think, a rod's a rod, right? Oh, how wrong you are, my friend. In the C-tier lineup, we've got a mix of rods that promise the world but deliver, well, mixed results. Let's break these down and see why they didn't quite make the cut. First up is the Rapid Rod, a solid choice if you're into quantity over quality. Its 72% lure stat means you'll be hauling in fish like there's no tomorrow, making it fantastic for angler quests. But here's the catch. Literally, its 20% luck and resilience makes snagging rare fish a Herculean task. Think of it as the rod equivalent of a popcorn machine. You'll get plenty of bites, but don't expect a filet mignon in the batch. Next, the Fortune Rod sounds like it's sprinkled with magical fish-catching dust, boasting an impressive 110% luck. But don't get too excited, the 35% lure and a hefty price tag make this rod more of a luxury novelty. Sure, it's great for completing your bestiary, but unless you've got cash to burn, it's like buying a sports car that can't leave the driveway. Now, let's talk about the Long Rod and Plastic Rod, which are frankly like the training wheels of the fish world. They're okay for beginners, but once you've tasted the sweet efficiency of the carbon rod, you'll never look back. The Long Rod's 20% lure and 30% luck are decent, but its low max kg capacity, just 250, makes it feel like you're fishing with a pool noodle. The Plastic Rod? Slightly better, but it still screams starter pack. Finally, there's the Steady Rod. This one's an interesting character. With an insane max kg of 100,000, it's like a powerhouse that lets you catch anything. Plus, the added Shake UI size makes battles more engaging. It's cheap, effective, and perfect for racking up cash early in the game. The downside? It's overshadowed by the King's Rod, which does everything better. So, while the Steady Rod is great for beginners, you'll probably toss it aside once you level up. There you have it, our C-tier contenders. They're not terrible, but they're not going to make you the envy of the virtual fishing world either. Whether you're looking to fill quests or just mess around, these rods have their moments. But let's be real, you're better off aiming higher. Now, which one's your go-to? Let me know in the comments. The rods in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Scurvy Rod, Midas Rod, Training Rod, Fast Rod, Lucky Rod, and Carbon Rod. Alright, let's dive into the world of fish rods and see which ones are worth your precious $60. Spoiler alert, not all that glitters is gold, especially when it comes to the Midas Rod. But hey, we're here to separate the fish-catching legends from the overpriced disappointments. First up, the Scurvy Rod, our trusty all-rounder. With a solid 50% luck stat and a decent lure speed of 15%, this rod is a jack of all trades. It can handle a respectable max weight of 2,000 kilos, making it a reliable option for mid-tier players. Sure, it's not breaking records, but for $50,000, you're getting some decent versatility. Resilience at 15% is a nice touch too. This rod won't give up on you too easily. Now, let's talk about the Midas rod, or as I like to call it, the golden disappointment. On paper, that 60% chance for fish to turn golden sounds incredible. Double the value, right? But hold your bait. The other stats are a disaster. 20% resilience, barely any luck at 10%, and it struggles with tougher fish unless you enchant it. Plus, at 4,000 max weight, it's just not worth the price tag. If you're aiming to flex your wallet, sure, go for it. But don't expect miracles. Moving on, the training rod is here for one reason only: to catch a log. Yes, that's its shining moment. Otherwise, it's a disaster zone with 70% luck and mediocre lure stats. But hey, it's good for beginners trying to complete quests. Just don't stick with it longer than you need to. It's the rod equivalent of a training wheel. Now, the fast rod lives up to its name with an impressive 45% lure speed, but the rest of the stats? Absolute pain. 15% luck and 12% resilience make it feel more like a rushed decision than a reliable tool. It's nice early on for its speed, but once you get access to better rods, it's swimming straight to the bench. Finally, we've got the Lucky Rod and Carbon Rod, two rods that fight for early game supremacy. The Lucky Rod packs a strong 60% luck, but its 30% lure speed and poor resilience make it feel sluggish. The Carbon Rod, on the other hand, is the early game MVP. It's got just enough of everything: 25% luck, 10% resilience, and a 600 kilo max weight to hold its own for a while. Sure, it falls off later, but for starting players, it's a great catch. So there you have it. B-tier rods, the good, the bad, and the overpriced. Whether you're chasing golden fish, completing your logbook, or just trying not to blow your budget, these rods all have their moments. Choose wisely, and may the fish gods smile upon your bait. The rods in this tier are in order from top left to bottom right: the Rod of Depths, Reinforced Rod, Magnet Rod, King's Rod, Nocturnal Rod, Magma Rod, Fungal Rod, Haunted Rod, and Sunken Rod. Ah, the world of rods in fish. If you've ever felt like fishing could be more than just sitting around and waiting for something to nibble, let me tell you, fish has turned it into a science, an art, and honestly, a bit of chaos. Let's dive into the A-tier rods where the magic happens, but not quite the God-tier magic. These rods have their quirks, their strengths, and, let's be real, some questionable design decisions. First up, the Rod of Depths, the ultimate, you better earn this rod. To get it, you're going to need dedication, patience, and, well, a ridiculous amount of $. Fishing for the Depths key? Check. Bestiary completion? Check. Relics, altars, and underwater maze? Oh, and $750,000 $. Once you have it, though, you can fish in any harmful liquid. Lava, poison, the tears of your enemies, this rod doesn't care. Its stats, on the other hand? Yikes. But hey, if fishing in molten rock is your thing, this rod has your back. Now, let's talk about the Reinforced Rod. It sounds tough, right? Reinforced, but all it really reinforces is the idea that stats don't matter if you've got a niche. With 0% lure and a laughable 0.05 control, it's not winning any prizes. Still, it lets you fish in harmful liquids, which might save your hide in certain situations. Just don't expect it to perform miracles anywhere else. The Magnet Rod is here to make your early game wallet happy. Its 95% plus chance to snag crates is basically a money printing machine, perfect if you're broke and need quick cash. But let's not kid ourselves, it's a one-trick pony. Once you're rolling in $, its utility drops off faster than a lead sinker. Farming fish, completing the bestiary, forget it. This rod is purely for the hustlers. On to the King's Rod, which comes with the vibe of, I do what I want. It's not great for making money, but if you're in it for the big fish energy, this rod's got you. With 15% bigger fish across the board and decent stats, it's the tool of choice for bestiary enthusiasts. Just don't expect it to shower you in gold unless you've got a backup plan. The Nocturnal Rod is perfect for the night owls, or, well, all-day owls. It can catch nocturnal or diurnal fish whenever you want, which is a huge plus for bestiary completion. But let's not sugarcoat it. It's a struggle to handle harder fish without the right bait or enchants. It's like having a flashlight with dying batteries. Great when it works, frustrating when it doesn't. Feeling fiery? The Magma Rod has you covered literally in lava. It's a solid early game pick if you're chilling in Roslet Volcano, but outside of that, its stats are so bad it'll make you want to cry. It's like the student who aces one test but flunks everything else. Good in a pinch, but don't rely on it for the long haul. Now, for the rod with the best vibes, the Fungal Rod. This little guy gives you luck 4 after a catch, which even works with crab cages. That makes it one of the best early game rods if you're trying to farm efficiently. The downside? It's tricky to get, and its max kg limit isn't doing anyone any favors. Still, it's hard not to love the sheer utility it brings. The Haunted Rod is your spooky, seasonal friend, letting you fish up fish fright mutations year-round. The stats are solid, but here's the catch, pun intended, you can only get it during the fish fright event. And while those mutations are cool, they're not exactly swimming in cash value. Fun? Yes. Practical? Debatable. Finally, the Sunken Rod, the treasure hunter's dream. This rod is all about farming treasure maps, and it does it well. It has great stats, and every 10 catches gives you a 25% chance at a map. Money, adventure, bestiary potential, it checks a lot of boxes. Its Achilles heel? It's not great at handling tougher fish unless you gear up with resilience bait or enchants. There you have it, each rod with its strengths, quirks, and those moments that make you go, why did I even bother? But hey, that's fish for you. Whether you're in it for the treasure, the challenge, or just the chaos, these A-tier rods will keep you hooked. The rods in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, No Life Rod, Trident Rod, Executive Rod, Mythical Rod, Destiny Rod, and Aurora Rod. Alright, let's dive into the world of rods in Fish, where we'll talk about some of the most powerful fishing tools you'll get your hands on. These rods can change the entire game, but each one has its own unique strengths and quirks, so let's break them down. First up, we've got the No Life Rod, a real beast in terms of stats. It has a whopping 90% lure, 100% luck, and a max weight limit that's pretty much unlimited. This thing has a high chance of giving you fish with the Hexed mutation, which means you're getting 1.x the value. And if you're lucky, it even stabs a fish while you're reeling it in, briefly stunning it and giving you a little extra progress. But here's the catch, it's not the best for making money, despite how OP it sounds. It's great for catching tough fish, but lacks that cash-making power. Next, let's talk about the Trident Rod. If you're looking for lure speed and luck, this is your go-to. With 20% lure and a massive 150% luck, it's built to snag even the rarest catches. Plus, there's a 30% chance that every fish you catch will be Atlantean, and those fish are worth 3x the value. This rod can make you some serious coin, but here's the kicker. It's a bit of a grind to unlock, especially if you're new to the game. But once you've got it, you'll be reeling in money and fish like a pro. If you're looking for the big leagues, the Executive Rod is as close as you get. With a 99% lure speed and max weight limit, this rod's admin only, meaning it's unobtainable for most players. But oh man, it's got some serious perks. The lure speed is insane, making it super easy to catch fish quickly, and it would have been a money-making machine if it was available to the general public. Just a shame it's locked behind the admin curtain, right? Now, if you're looking for something that's easy to get your hands on but still packs a punch, the Mythical Rod is your best bet. It's got solid stats with 45% luck and a 30% chance for mythical fish, which are worth a hefty 4.5x the value. It's also really easy to get, which makes it a top choice for a lot of players. The downside? It's not the best at catching the really hard-to-get fish unless you've got the right enchantments. But when it comes to making money, this rod is still one of the top contenders. Then there's the Destiny Rod, and let me tell you, it's got a bit of a mixed reputation. It gives you a 10% lure, but the 250% luck more than makes up for it. With a 5% chance to catch shiny or sparkling fish, it's your best shot at getting rare fish for your bestiary. The problem? You're not going to make a ton of money with this one. It's more about hunting down those shiny special fish rather than cashing in big. Oh, and like the Mythical Rod, it'll struggle to reel in those tough catches unless you've got an enchantment or two up your sleeve. Lastly, we have the Aurora Rod, a rod that truly shines during the Aurora event. With a 15% chance to catch fish with the Aurora mutation, worth 7.5x, this rod can become a real money-making powerhouse during the event. But don't let the stats fool you. It's not always easy to catch those difficult fish without some extra help from resilience bait or enchantments. Still, if you're fishing during the Aurora event, this rod is your best friend for maximizing your haul. The downside? It can be a little tricky to get your hands on, and it's not the easiest rod to master. So there you have it. These rods each have their own perks and playstyles, so whether you're out for rare fish, making money, or just want to show off your collection, there's something for everyone. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.